That's, and I know it's not the, and I messaged our friend Chris Garcia, friend of the show, who, you know, if you heard his episode of the show, or if you haven't, go back and listen to it. It's a great episode. Chris Garcia, comedian, and his father had Alzheimer's, just like my dad. And I told Chris the story, and, you know, I was a little bit more vulgar in the story with Chris, because, you know, my dad wants some ladies of the night. That's really what he wants.
Oh my God.
That's really what my dad wants. Let's be real. My dad thinks that he's still capable of, like, getting out there and doing his thing. And Chris was just dying laughing at this, you know, because we were laughing. He's like, "Me, what are you gonna do?" He's like, "Yeah, get ready." He's like, "It gets worse."
Oh my God.
So, yeah, it gets worse. So anyway, that's you know, if every time you think your parents are a pain in the ass, the only good thing about my dad is that he forgets. That's the only good thing. If he's a pain in the ass, he forgets, and then you talk to him the next day, and he'll remember sometimes a little bit of it, but the best part of it is that actually he forgets. Mm-hmm. So he can have a really bad day, and then the next day, it's like that never happened.
How do I convince my parents that they have Alzheimer's when they don't?
I mean, they probably wish they have Alzheimer's after they've seen your social media posts. I think at least your dad. Yeah. Your dad wishes he had amnesia at least.
At least that.
Mm-hmm. At least amnesia. That's all your dad. Yeah, that's all. I think your dad needs is amnesia. Pretty much. I mean, I love how you're like, oh, maybe he kind of needs amnesia.
Maybe. Poor dad.
I feel for your parents. Every time you post something and it cracks me up, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so glad I don't have kids.
I'm glad I do that for everybody.
No, just, I mean, for me at least.
If you were thinking about having children, just think that they could end up like this.
Yeah, what, you mean? With a job, self-sustained?
Oh, wait.
And in this beautiful city, you know, saying that they were going to live here and moved and did it.
With rejected taxes and
rejected
neighbors
taxes and shitty
and
neighbors.
Tests that cannot be taken until May.
Yeah. I think you did all right, Megan.
Usually I yell at that, but we're in a nice restaurant, so I put that down.
Yeah. I know. But yeah, no. I think you did okay, Megan. I think you did
okay?
just fine. So Alexander's at the Steakhouse. Have you ever had a 28-day like dry aged steak before?
I have.
Do you like? Because it is an acquired taste.
It's an acquired taste.
Do you like it?
I have preferred no aged steaks in the past in some restaurants because there is a flavor to some of them sometimes that I'm just like, ooh.
Yeah, so
but it depends.
That aging process, well, it basically creates like a funk around the steak, and they cut that out. Mm-hmm. So when they dry age a steak, it gets a cap around it of, let's just say, funk, and then the chef will then remove all of that. And under that cap, after those 28 days of the dry aging, is this like beautiful steak that's under there, and it's exponentially more tender than the previous one. So it definitely tenderizes the steak. It definitely creates a different kind of flavor profile to it. Mm-hmm. But it's a unique experience.
There's kind of like a happy point for dry aging for me, where it's like I've had some that's too much, too long.
Thank you.
Not great.
No, fair.
For what it is, but then I've had some that just perfect amount of time, tasted great. So it depends too on how people.
You know, I'm also the school of thought where I think
28 to 30 is the magic number. You make the meat tender, but you don't modify the taste. Over 40 days, it starts to be gamey.
Yeah.
Thank you, Frederick. So that was great. So yeah, he said that 28 to 30 days. Our lovely gentleman who's taking care of us tonight, Frederick, are for that time period is like the sweet spot. Mm-hmm. Once you get over that or into the 40-day, it can get gamey and get funky.
I think I've had like 46. I think I've had. God, what's the longest you can do it for?
I have no idea. I don't remember. I've had some old stuff.
I know that some steakhouses I've been to, I won't name them, I can think of one right now that they're like, that was their selling point, like how long it was dry aged. And I was like, all right. I was with somebody at the time and he's like, let's do it. Let's have your best one and try it. And it was the longest. And I was like, oh God, this isn't great. So he's right on the money there. It's got to be that sweet spot.
Yeah, that's why I mean, I like that they state on the website that it's 28-day. They specialize in the 28-day dried steak. I know, but before we leave today, I do want to see the dry aging room. I want to shoot a video of that because if you've never seen a dry aging room, guys, it's sometimes it's a room, sometimes it looks like a wine refrigerator, and it just has meat in there, and that's just removing humidity. And it's just got a nice little tag on it, kind of letting you know when it was in and when it's going to be ready to be carved by the chef.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Our next course for you here is going to be our beet salad. So we serve this with golden red beets, a whipped feta, as well as a pistachio vinaigrette at the base.
Ooh.
Thank you.
So
It's
yes,
lovely.
beet salad with both golden and red beets with a pistachio vinaigrette and awesome. This looks so good. Remember you ate red beets, Megan, tomorrow. All right? I don't want you texting me thinking you're dying because you forgot you ate red beets.
Another day.
Just be another day of Megan dying, not knowing.
How do I even? I just want a bite of everything.
Did you eat beets as a kid? Because I did not.
No, my mom never.
My grandfather ate canned beets as a kid, and it would look
Yeah,
like the most disgusting thing in the world to me.
yeah.
Now I love them.
Depends on, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things as a kid that I don't think got good marketing when we were kids. Like Brussels sprouts did not get good PA.
No, Brussels sprouts got shitty marketing.
Shitty marketing.
Yeah.
Beets. Shitty marketing. No one could. You just gotta dress them up a little bit.
Sorry guys, I'm taking pictures of this food. Yeah, no.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that good, eh?
There's just a lot of texture to it.
I
And
gotta say,
salt.
I'm a happy camper right now.
And sweet.
Oh. So all of the above, Megan Elizabeth. Oh, there we go. Now I finally got the camera right, so I can take pretty pictures of this. Because I have the memory of a fruit fly sometimes. Sometimes when I come out of there, I'm like, "What did you?" I'm like, I don't remember."
You could fool me because you asked me if I remember stuff, and I'm like, no, but I just know it was really good.
and then I say that, and then I'll remember a bunch of shit. So I guess it just depends on how much I drink. I haven't drank that much, so I'm gonna remember this. At least not yet. So you didn't eat beets as a kid?
No, I don't think so.
I ate no vegetables as a child.
Really?
No.
Well, that's not
And now I love them. But yeah, Cuban people didn't eat vegetables.
Just pork.
Yeah, just pork.
It was
Just
just
pork. I mean,
all the
pork,
time.
legumes, and rice.
Ooh,
That's pretty much.
legumes.
Yeah, that's we just had black beans and pork. That's pretty much the extent of our diet. I just didn't eat them as a kid. Even if I went to some crappy fast food, I would remove the lettuce and the tomatoes and anything that was remotely, that had color to it. Anything.
Oh, I'm sorry, this has color. Could you?
Yeah, and to think that now it's usually the first thing I go for is like I want to
Colorful?
find something with like some beautiful vegetables at every. There's a couple of great restaurants in LA. A place like a Birdie G's in Santa Monica where
I've heard about this place.
Oh my
I've read
goodness.
about this place.
it's super. And then the sister restaurant Rustic Canyon, who was around first.
I've been to that place.
Yeah, and to state like the food at Rustic Canyon is great, but the best vegetables I've had were like and I wanted to go through the entire menu of vegetables because everything was so good. You know what I mean? Like it was like some places you'll go to and like, oh, we specialize in this, and at Rustic Canyon, like everything was good, and every little like nuance in this dish, from the greens, the citrus, the onion, the pistachio, it works really well. Like this is, and it's actually a really good size too for a chef's tasting. It's big.
Yeah, it's big.
Yeah, this is a good size for a chef's tasting.
Did we want to talk about my eclectic menu experience?
Yeah. Oh my God, please. Did we want to talk about your eclectic? I love it's your eclectic menu experience. Basically, that means that Megan sends me a picture of a menu and she's bitching. That's her eclectic menu experience.
I wasn't bitching.
I would have been.
I just want to get the name right of what it was, because now I'm blanking.
You blanking? No way.
It was downtown. I would recommend it because it was really cool location in the Arts District, I believe. It was.
Oh, that's right. You sent me the name and I can't remember now. It was a Mexican place, wasn't it? Like
No.
No.
No, it's Korean. It's listed as Korean.
Oh, okay.
And it was really good. The food was really, really good. The service was really, really good. The server was nice. There is no complaints. The thing that shocked me, and I did talk to the server about it, was that the menu is so, they don't want to go as a fusion restaurant. Like that's what I was told, that they didn't want to be called a fusion restaurant, but there was no other word for it. They had like a tostada, then they had a matzo ball soup, and then they had a bunch of fried food, and then they had
hashtag not a fusion restaurant.
so Jewish, and then they had Italian stuff in there. It was all over the place.
But so you said it was great, but do you feel like pick your lane kind of thing?
I did, and I think I texted you that. It's like you can be fusion, or you can like. I came up with a term for it. I just pull up our messages because it was pretty funny. Because our whole messages that night, I was crying, laughing.
Oh yeah.
Because I made fun of you.
Yeah, and then she sends me like this like fat face picture of her laughing, which I'm gonna make her profile. But I have a really good angry face picture of her as her profile. So I don't want to get rid of that one, but this one is a close second. This one might just end up on our Instagram, I think. That's what I think I'm going to do. This will end up as the main tile for a reel on Instagram.
It's like we never even texted. Or did I send it to you on WhatsApp?
I don't know, Megan, I inhaled this thing. It's so good.
Oh my God, did you do that whole
It's
time?
so good. Oh, guys, so seriously, that is something that this last dish right now, this beet salad, just really cleanse the palate. I didn't even ask how many courses this is, but we're on course number 3.
3. Moose, 1, 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Yang Ban, sorry, keep going.
Yang Ban was the name of the place.
Yang Ban.
What a name.
Good food.
Such a memorable name.
Listed as Korean in the 101 list, LA Times.
Okay.
Blue crab tostada. Trout schmear. Wagyu stuffed paella leaf.
This is not at Alexander's, guys.
No.
This is from another restaurant that Megan's talking about. I was like,
Matzo ball mandu. So that is like Korean in matzo ball. They have mole. It's just, I was just like, oh my gosh, like what? I asked him, I said, what is this? What is this? And he's like, it's Korean. I'm like, I live in Koreatown.
You're like, I don't know.
So it's just, I would, yes, it's really, really good. It's a really cool place if you want to go on a date because it's really dark and dreary and fun and well decorated.
You want to make the person you're with look better. It's nice and dark and dreary.
I looked really good, but they sat me by myself in this huge giant booth and I just was like, oh my God, I look good.
You look like a mob boss.
Yeah, I do. I was seeing if anyone was like looking over me. I thought about putting my hood over my head and just like pretending I was someone big and famous. But other than that, everything was really good. So yeah, if you're downtown, and I wouldn't say if you're looking for Korean food, I would say if you're looking for high-end good food, try it out. But yeah, I would say pick a lane a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, so that's one thing.
Really big portions.
I'm a diehard fan of like your traditional American steakhouse. I don't give a shit what anybody says. I love like going to a steakhouse for steak dinner. Mind you, I cook a great steak at home, but there's the, like doing the dry aged steaks, the certain cuts of beef. I love going to the steakhouse. That's like, and I like sharing like the steak. Like, oh, let's get a steak for the table, and let's get this one with the bone, and like try all that stuff. Mm-hmm. One thing I'm digging here is that hint of like some Asian fusion.
Yeah, and they definitely claim it too.
Yeah,
they're not like this is a
they're not.
steakhouse.
They're not like, wait a second.
Like this is Japanese fusion.
Why is yuzu in this? No, it's really clear that it is, and the plating kind of gives that to me.
What's wrong with fusion right now? Is there a thing that people don't like? Is it a trend that people think is not great?
I'm wondering, is it people that are just like, oh, you're appropriating my culture, making it a fusion? I don't know. I'm just making this up. But it's just like,
I don't mind fusion if it's really good. I do if it's really bad.
Oh yeah, I mean, like the only, and I posted about this, and this is the post that like people were giving me shit on TikTok over, is that I get annoyed when people call a Cuban sandwich a Cubano. It annoys the living piss out of me. Mm-hmm. It's just one of those things. It's like that's the it's like the nails on the chalkboard for me. That's like one of those things. Or like or they go and they order a cortadito and they're like, can I get a cortado? That makes me want to cum punch somebody. Oh. That's just like it's at that level. Mm-hmm. A little bit.
Cubano.
Yeah.
I'm just taking note of everything that annoys you.
Really you do it all. You do it all the time. So I don't mean at this point.
Just more.
At this point, I don't think you could possibly annoy me more.
I could write a book. Okay, so those are your things.
Fast forward and like Megan's like ChatGPTing a book.
Do you judge white people that say things wrong?
No, I don't judge white people that say things wrong. I judge when it's on like a menu and they're claiming it to be a certain dish.
The menu is the restaurant.
That's kind of what annoys the shit out of me. Where they'll have like a Cuban sandwich and it'll be, the hardest thing to get over there would be the Cuban bread, so that's fine. I understand if they don't have Cuban bread, that's fine. They can do it with whatever they got. but the ingredients will be completely off.
Oh.
And I'm like, what it has a pickle on it? Is that what it's Cuban? It has pork in it. Oh, it's a Cuban sandwich. Got it.
You just
described
pork, it to me.
Pork and, refugee tears.
Mm.
Oh, got it. That's great. That's exactly the recipe for a Cuban sandwich. And it's my thing. That's something
Where do you buy those tiers? Is it at Whole Foods or? I was just writing down your recipe.
My recipe. Whole Foods tiers.
I go to their customer service. I'm like, do you guys sell what was it? He said, refugees tiers here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make a.
We're trying to find that here.
That's when I get punched in the face.
They're like, yes, ma'am. We have them in a dropper like bitters. Here you go. You have like a little dropper of refugee tears. These are salty.
You're gonna need to talk to our vitamin specialist.
A vitamin specialist at Whole Foods. So speaking of Whole Foods, I was going to ask you this. I know that I kind of know what you're going to say, but I still want to ask you your thoughts on tomato sauces. But I want you to exclude the brand that you work with